Listen, so the last administration brought in millions of undocumented illegals into this country for many different reasons. But one of the reasons was a failsafe. They knew if Donald Trump won, what he would have to do to get rid of all of these illegals. And they knew that they were going to twist it to get the people upset. What you see happening in LA is exactly the outcome to that plan. Because we do need to get rid of these illegal immigrants in this country. They do not belong here, and they want you upset doing exactly what you're doing, fighting ICE, doing their dirty work. This was their plan all along. Have a great day.
As I'm sitting here watching every single video of the LA raid with the ICE agents and these protesters, it pisses me off to high heavens. All you protesters out there, every single one of you are a domestic terrorist. Let me remind you what it means to be a domestic terrorist in the FBI definition.
There's a misconception that just because we want mass deportations that we don't have any empathy. Like, don't get me wrong, I do feel bad for like 99% of illegal immigrants. I don't think that most of them that come here are criminals or like rapists or murderers. Like, I don't think that most of them are bad people. But just because you're a good person doesn't give you the right to break a law. You can't just walk into the store and steal just because, you know, you're poor and your family needs to eat. It just doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. You're not entitled to it. That's what I'm saying. You're not entitled to come into a country illegally. If it was in Mexico, it would have been the same shit. They would have sent our ass back too. In fact, another country, they actually send you to prison for coming into the country illegally. They don't just send you home.
So the Democrats have been telling everyone that they did not need the National Guard for the LA ICE protests and that they were mostly peaceful. But now the LAPD is now reporting that they ruled it an unlawful assembly. So the same people that got it wrong here are the same people telling you that ICE is doing a bad thing. I'm pretty sure we should just let ICE do their job because it does not seem like the Democrats know how to do their job at all.
Hello and welcome to the channel once again. I hope you're doing fine wherever you're watching from, and I'm really glad that you're tuning in to watch this video on this channel. Now, with that, let us get straight to today's business. Now, as we all know, there are protests in LA, and we have witnessed, I don't think I've seen such violent protests in the recent past. We have seen a journalist being shot by a rubber bullet. I have seen videos of homes being invaded. I have seen shops being looted, you know, and these same protests have also had the involvement of FBI, the National Security Guard, and not just that, we have had people who are pro-Trump supporters, who are MAGA supporters, terming all that is happening right now to be right. And they are supporting Trump's decisions. In fact, they're saying that Donald Trump should deploy the U.S. Marine to deal with those protesters once and for all. And you know, all these they are holding a tenable argument. The argument is kind of making sense when they say that it is the president's duty to protect those who are in US legally, and it's the president's duty to make sure that everything in a state like LA is going on well, and that these protesters, they're making life unbearable for those who are in LA legally, but those who are being targeted are the illegal immigrants. And of course, I do not disagree with the fact that they are not supposed to be there illegally. So they're also having their own argument. And before I give my own opinion, or before you even give your own opinion, let us just get to see what the MAGA supporters or what pro-Trump supporters have to say. They are out there and they are supporting each and every move that President Trump makes. And when he deploys the military to LA to deal with the protests or with the protesters, they are in total support of the move. Let us get to see what they think, and I really hope that you'll watch the video to the very end, because I also want to know what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think talk to me in the comment section, because I believe this is a topic that needs to be discussed, and we need to center a conversation around this same topic. It's a topic that should not just be ignored, because by ignoring this we'll be proving or approving a repeat of the same. But when we talk about it, it will be direct that we are saying that we do not want a repeat of the same, because regardless whether you are supporting Donald Trump or whether you're not, there are human lives that are being affected, and that's something that we do not want to see anymore. I have seen the raids interrupting a school graduation, children crying all over, and I really empathize with them. But before that, let's just get to see the videos, and then we'll have our discussion thereafter. If you're new to this channel, I am your presenter Kachina, and if you like the video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're watching the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. I post these kind of videos to this channel on a daily basis, and I do it for free, and all that you need to do or to give in return is your subscription. Now, without wasting any time, let's get to it.
Donald Trump said, "Hey, Governor Newsom, since you can't keep your citizens safe during these damn ICE riots, I'ma send 2,000 National Guard members to come get on that ass. Hopefully you'll be old scum afterwards." Why are y'all acting like ICE just up and decided to deport people? Donald Trump won the presidency, and not only that, he told y'all what he was gonna do. He even gave illegals the option to self-deport and get a check if you didn't do that shit. Shame on you. I'm genuinely trying to think of the thought process here. Do you think causing chaos, committing more crimes is gonna keep you in the country? Did y'all see that one dude circling around that burning car on the motorcycle waving the Mexican flag? Nigga, what does that do for your case? Send him right now. Like, how does that fucking help you? You're a fucking arsonist. Also, ICE isn't deporting U.S. citizens. ICE is deporting illegals. Why are we acting like ICE is the problem here and not the people who, I don't know, didn't get their citizenship? Didn't get a visa to pull up? They just crawled through the desert or snuck through like a goddamn criminal. ICE is simply a form of accountability for every illegal that decided to come into America illegally. Keep it up, Donald Trump! Oh, that was a good one.
The rioters in Los Angeles are not stopping, okay? I'm watching it live right now, and I live in Los Angeles. They are throwing what appears to be Molotov cocktails on police cars, burning up police cars, burning up other cars. Please, President Trump, White House, if you're watching this, invoke the Insurrection Act, declare martial law, send in the Marines, and please authorize lethal force. Please, this will not stop without lethal force being authorized. These criminals need to be made examples of, and their families and everybody involved need to learn a lesson.
All right, let's look at the timeline for the LA ICE protests, because there's only one side moving the goalposts. The left started out telling you that it was mostly peaceful. Then once it started to get out of hand, they tried to blame Donald Trump for that. They said that it's because he sent the troops. He sent the troops because it started to get out of hand. So you're listening to a side that continues to change their story. Now what they are saying is they are still blaming Donald Trump for how bad it got, because they're saying, well, it never would have gotten to this point if Donald Trump wasn't the type of president that he was. Are you kidding me? The reason it got like this is because the people that are at those protests, which turned into riots, are listening to your people. The left, they have been listening to you for years, your rhetoric. That is why they were doing that. Stop moving the goalposts. This was never going to stay peaceful because of what you have been putting out there for information. Have a great day.
Every single video of the LA raid with the ICE agents and these protesters, it pisses me off to high heavens. All you protesters out there, every single one of you are a domestic terrorist. Let me remind you what it means to be a domestic terrorist in the FBI definition. And I hope every single one of you are held accountable. The FBI defines domestic terrorism as violent criminal acts committed to further ideology goals stemming from domestic influences, such as political, social, or environmental motivation. Title 18 U.S. Code 2331, which define terrorism, includes act dangerous to human life intended to intimidate or coerce a population or influence government policy. Attacks on federal agents like those working for ICE or ICE can be seen as an attempt to intimidate or affect government conduct. Your intent to help these illegals is the key factor in the intent behind the attack. If the attacker's actions are driven by desire to influence government policies or intimidate the population, they could be charged with domestic terrorism. And this is every single one of you protesters out there throwing rocks, throwing chairs, throwing everything you can at these ICE agents doing their job. And when you are caught, I hope the DOJ throws the books at you. If you are a green card holder, I hope that your green card is revoked and you get shipped the hell out. If you are a naturalized citizen, I hope they denaturalize you and send your ass packing. And if you are a citizen of the United States, I hope you see those iron bars for a hot minute. I'm talking about 10 plus years.
So someone asked me, why was I upset about a black kid being called the N-word, but now I'm okay with Mexican mothers being taken away from their children? And my response to that is, I'm not okay with that. I think that they should all leave the country together if you really care about keeping families together. But just because you come into this country illegally and doesn't have a kid doesn't mean that you get a jail out of free card. That's not how it works. There's still consequences to coming into the country illegally, and you knew that very much when you came in here. Second of all, I'm not upset just because it's a Mexican mother. I don't care if it's a Mexican mother, a white mother, or Asian mother. If you come into this country illegally, you're going to get deported, and you should. Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be certain exceptions. I understand and have compassion for, maybe. But at the end of the day, you are not entitled to stay in the country if you came in illegally. And so I guess to sum it up in simple terms, racism is bad. Racism is bad. But law enforcement and officers doing their job, that's good. We need law enforcement. Hope this helps. Hope this helps.
These ICE raids happening in downtown LA, why are you surprised? Trump literally said we're going to start deporting people that are here illegally, which if you're here illegally, that's a consequence of your own actions. And I'm seeing some families being separated because ICE is taking away the parents. To the parents, what did you think was going to happen when you entered a country illegally, knowing that family separation is a potential outcome if you get caught? Like, it sounds like the consequences of your own actions and your children are suffering because of it. And to the people, both the American citizens and the illegal immigrants that are here trying to stop ICE, how's that going for you? How's cussing at ICE in your home language? How's throwing things at their vehicles? How's throwing things at ICE agents? How is interfering with the federal investigation? How's that going for you? Doesn't look like it's working out too well in my eyes. They're only trying to make America great again. Honestly, be so.
I can't believe I'm saying this. The left was right. We do have a constitutional emergency. Why are we allowing anti-Americans to violate the principle of our beautiful state of California? The people of California will not and cannot allow these anti-Americans to continue to destroy California. Let me be clear. The deployment of military personnel into our cities are not only justified, they are completely lawful to keep legal American citizens safe. Let me remind you the failure of many of these Democratic leaderships, especially the one right on top, Mr. Gavin Newsom himself. Under the leadership of Gavin Newsom, California is already 1.6 trillion in debt when you look at unrealized liability. 250 billion wildfire damage, the single most expensive natural disaster in the United States of America. $128 billion to a train that goes absolutely nowhere. 3.4 billion Medi-Cal because Newsom gave illegal immigrants free health care at the expense of California citizens. California has the lowest literacy rate among U.S. states, okay? Now, that's not all. Let's continue. California has the highest gas tax. Let's not forget the 75 or the 65 cents that's going to kick in July 1st. California has the highest rate of cost living in the continental U.S., the highest rate of cost adjustment poverty in the U.S. 1/3 of all U.S. welfare recipients. Since 2019, California has spent about $24 billion on homelessness, but in the 5-year period, homelessness increased about 30,000 to more than 181,000. But let's not forget the nearly $20 billion in unemployment fraud payment outstanding liabilities owed to the federal taxpayers from all the COVID UI fraud in the state of California. But yet this man is busy pounding his chest. I'm gonna stand up against President Trump because I am the man. I can run the United States of America. No, the fuck you can't. You are a failed person all around.
You bitches are burning the American flag, waving around the Mexican flag. Is you fucking stupid? But you about to learn. Trump just sent 700 Marines plus the National Guard over there to take care of that issue. You're looting fucking neighborhood stores, setting cars on fire. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? What did you want to come out of all this? You're asking to be incarcerated. You're asking to be sent the fuck out of this country. Everybody has an option. If you don't like it here in the United States, you have the power to leave. If you don't have the money, save up and get the fuck out. Cause a lot of us are getting tired of hearing y'all bitch and complain about shit non-stop. Man the fuck up. If you want to be a United States citizen, become a productive member of society. If you're an illegal immigrant, like my fucking neighbor, you gotta fucking go. You gotta fucking go. You're gone. And that's just the way it is.
When I was viewing the TikToks that I have just compiled for you, they kind of made me feel a feeling that I have not felt in quite a very long time. And in the comment section, it looked like a war zone. Some people were siding with President Trump, and I can tell you for a fact that those people were the minority, but the majority of the people, not just Americans, but the whole world, talking about Africans, I'm talking about Asians, I'm talking about South Americans, people in the Caribbean islands, they were against what is happening in America at the moment. But one thing with the pro-Trump supporters is that they are total diehards. They will not listen to anything that we say that's against Trump. In their minds, Trump is the best American leader, or Trump is the best leader that America will ever have. So they're out there trying to justify the actions of the president, that indeed these people are here illegally and they must put an end to this illegal immigration. Well, they're also trying to shame or to put the blame on the previous administration, which was Joe Biden's administration, that they really allowed illegal immigrants to get into America. And right now, Trump is just doing away with the mess that was created by Joe Biden or by the previous administration. Now, I don't know how this may be true, but assuming that it's true, well, is this the way to handle things? Businesses being destroyed, families being destroyed, homes being destroyed. Is this the way to handle things? Through tear gas and pepper bombs, children crying, families being affected, thousands being injured, businesses having to stop. Is this the way to handle things? Well, I personally don't believe that this is the way that things need to be handled. Assuming that it was Joe Biden's mistake that he allowed illegal immigrants to get into the US, I understand that it's against the law for you to be an illegal immigrant, not just in America, but in any other country. You know, even in my country, Kenya, you are not supposed to be there illegally. I know it's not just America, it's not the first country that such a thing is happening, but we should not have businesses stopping just because a president is trying to do away with some illegal immigrants. And not just that, the lengths to which he is going just to get them out of this place. You can imagine having to seek the services of the FBI. Do you guys know how serious the whole world sees the FBI? If the FBI can just, if you people just know how serious the FBI is viewed by other nations, and then giving them a mere job like handling protesters who are basically harmless, that's not quite good, or it's not quite a good picture. And right about now, I'd just like to say that I do not believe in whatever is going on at the moment. I totally disagree, because despite the fact that it's illegal, I believe it's also not human to handle such demonstrations in such a way. And it's just an opinion that I'm having. But again, despite the fact that we are being empathetic and sympathetic with them, and while the MAGA supporters do want Trump to continue and they are defending each and every move that he's making, again, as a black person, I am not supposed to take part in the protests. I can just sympathize and empathize with you guys, but again, looking at things from the scope that these Mexican Americans are the same people that elected Donald Trump, it's again given the approach that if you effed around, and this is the season that you are prone to find out the consequences of your actions. Yeah, so however much we may sympathize with y'all, it's just but a reminder that the next time probably we are casting a ballot, we will make the right decisions, and we won't just vote based on our emotions, but vote based on logic, because these are things that President Donald Trump said during his campaign. It was part of his manifesto. Whatever is going on was not a secret back then. It's something that he put out there in public, and it was known to everyone that that was exactly what would happen. So I, knowing that, don't think that it should be also much of our business to join them out there. I know that's contrary to what is expected, but well, you know how protests that involve blacks usually end up. We do not want to be brutalized by the police. But again, some people do say that Trump is targeting these minority groups, and if we do not take part to help the Mexican Americans, we African Americans, we will be next. Now, I really don't know the truths or the extent to which he may go, or if at all that statement is true. But right about now, I am working on a video about it, and I will just want you to tell me what your thoughts are in the comment section. Yeah, please tell me what you think, and I will be so glad to read your thoughts in the comment section. And let's have or keep the conversation going. And right about now, I will just leave it at that. tell me what you think in the comment section. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to this place, then please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. These are the kind of videos that I upload on this channel, and I do that on a daily basis. I do it for free. All you need to do is to subscribe in return, and that way you will be notified each and every time I upload a new video to this platform. With that, I would like to bid you goodbye. Hope to be seeing you in the next video. Bye.